Say hello to Bella and Beazley. That's Beazley. That's Bella. Good little doggies. Welcome back, my carburetor hating friends. So here we have it. The 4 carbs for the CB350F. I got 4 kits. Rebuild kits. I mainly just want them for the gaskets and the O-rings, not so much for the jets and stuff, because from what I hear, at least the needle and seat are a different size and won't work. I have a huge bottle of Pine Sol, original pine, that this can go in my ultrasonic cleaner. And just looked at this: citric acid 1.75%, other ingredients 98.25. So I spent all that money for 1.75%. Okay, I bought a couple of these little baskets that I can put the smaller parts in so they don't get lost in the ultrasonic cleaner. And let's start taking this apart. I gotta order some the hoses and stuff. I don't have any of that stuff. It didn't come with any of that stuff. Let's try to get this off. Where's my pick? Already a struggle. That's all right. Of course, you moved around as I was struggling. Can't even see where the other side of the spring is. But, alright, that's out for now. We'll just remember that. Let's take this bracket off. so the choke works on this one. It's a little stiff as well, but it does work. The throttle, it does work. It's not the smoothest. See some crap in there. Let's get the top off here. This does have a gasket, so I'm sure I'll be replacing that. Try to shine these up a little bit too. Ooh. Yeah, it is a little crusty in there. Do we dare see what it looks like in the bowl? That's coming right off. It's probably got a spring on the main jet. Well, I don't believe our needle. No, our needle's not frozen. I mean, it's not bad. It's crappy, but not bad. Let's get this off. Our main jet should pull out. It's probably got it has an O-ring on it, so I'll have to pry that out. Hopefully we can get all of our floats out without issue. Yeah, it's a little stuck in there. We'll have to work on that. Let's see. If we take this off, we can pull this arm off. We should be able to get that out. Remember that plastic went in the inside. Now, will this come out? Well, I think it might. Yeah. That definitely needs a good cleaning. We've got to get this jet out, this jet out. Shouldn't be big of a deal. Pilot jet, perhaps? Oof. I don't think clogged, but definitely dirty. We will put that in here. Did it come with something like that? It does. So this should just pry out. Wrong tool for the job. And I gotta get this pin out, which I might have to tap out. All right, I'll bring it back. All right, so it took me a while back and forth, some WD-40 and knocking that pin back and forth to get that out. Some crap over here that's got to get cleaned out. Oh, there's our needle. Put that in here. Gotta take that screw out and get our seat out. That just popped out fairly easily. And all the passages look fairly free. Hard to tell in that pilot check because I think that one comes up at an angle. Yeah. We'll get the adjuster screw out. For fun, I am going to count how many turns this is. Half. 1. 1 1/4. Not that I'll remember it. Oops, spring stuck in there. There we go. Not much of a taper on that. Yeah, I don't know how much more I'm going to go on this carb body here. I'm thinking everything should loosen up once I put this in the ultrasonic cleaner with everything else. Let's get this hose off the bowl. Let's see if we can get drain out. That's not going to fit. This is going to be too small. Another O-ring. Hopefully this stem in here is good and no cracks or leaks. We'll get our O-ring out of here. Yeah, that's no good anymore. That's okay. We should have one in our kit. Which is why we bought it. It wasn't that expensive of a kit. I think it was $20 maybe. A little over $20 for four carb kits. I'm sure it's China. We are going to dilute that pine sol with water. We're not running it straight. Maybe like 50-50. All right, I think we got enough apart that we're going to start on the first carburetor. All right, while this is warming up, I'll go ahead and start on the second carb. Once it heats up to the right temperature, I'll let it run for, I don't know, 30 minutes, an hour maybe. And by that time, I'll have the second carburetor out and ready to go in. This is many, many days later. I've run everything through the ultrasonic cleaner. I have individual bins for each carburetor. I forgot to show removing this tube, which I just use a chopstick. Once they're in, I just push down on the end of it with the chopstick to remove it. But we'll show you how to put them in. So they came out pretty clean. Kind of happy about that. I've been waiting for parts forever, I had, I had the basic kits here, but I wanted new screws and I needed new fuel line, vent line and stuff. And the post office, because it's around Christmas time, everything is delayed by about a week right now, which is insane. But I did get some new stuff. Brake, drain screws, the screw kit. I got some of the vent line. It's even Honda. I didn't expect that to be. So, yeah, let's start reassembling these. So the first thing I will install is the emulsion tube. And we'll just that in, and now we'll put our main jet in. Put a little oil on the O-ring just to help it go in a little better. Okay, our main jet's in. Let's put our needle jet in. Okay. Okay, I used the original needle and seat because I've heard bad things about the ones that comes in the kit. They're not the right height, and then you have to adjust everything to that. So we're just going to do it this way, and we will slide our little holder in there. Sorry, the heat is on. It's below freezing outside, which is one of the reasons I'm in here. We'll just tighten the screw up. And that'll hold our needle in. Now, let's drop our needle in, get our float and our pin. Alright, so we got our float back in. Now when you measure this, you want to measure it, see when it goes like that and just stops? You want to measure it like that. If you put it down, you're going to see it drops down on an angle. If you put it sideways just till it hits, you can see that it's almost level with the bowl, which is how it should be. And it's supposed to be set at 21 millimeters. Alright, we got our good old slide caliper here. We'll go up to 21. These things are tough to get exact. 21.03, that's pretty good. And we'll measure here. Looks good. And we'll measure again on this side. Looks good. Alright. One last thing we gotta do. Put our clip in. So that our jet doesn't fall out. I'm going to polish this up a little bit, and then we'll put that bowl on. Alright, bowl's on with its new gasket, new screws, new drain plug. Let's put the new fuel mixture screw and spring in. If I remember, they were about 1 1/4. There's a half, one. We'll go 1.5 to start. All right. What's next? Okay, so I put the little fuel line in there, and when I hold the carb like this and blow in it, it should be clear. When I tip it upside down, it should stop. Oh, let's see how this goes. Good. Okay, that seems to work. So that looks like our needle and seat are working. Put that back in. Now, the shaft comes in through this way. We have our felt washer, which we're going to put some oil on. Get that to hopefully swell up a little bit. Put that in there. Got our shaft that goes through. Alright, and we got to put a plastic washer in here, if I remember correctly. Yep. Now we got to get it through this shaft. There we go. And we have to line up the hole that's in there, wherever that may be. There we go. Now we got to put our little bolt and lock washer on that. Okay. All right, I got to fold that over, the little lock part of it. I'm not exactly sure what direction it went in or if it even matters. But that ought to do it. And then we can put our top back on after I polish that up a little. Alright, got a new gasket. Put the cover on. Couple of new screws. That should be it. Got our choke, our throttle. Seems nice and smooth. So yeah, 1 down, 3 more to go. Okay, now we got all 4 carbs done. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now we just got to mate them all up together and then sync them up. The first 2, you have to get this in here and then that little pipe in there. Make sure that that is slid in there. Should be fairly easy, I would hope. Okay, so the first two. Now we'll move on to the second set. These are new O-rings, so they're going to be a little tight going together. Kind of missed some of the putting together, I think, but all the carbs are together, they're all pushed together, and now I got to put all the screws in that hold them, try to get the spring on and all the linkages set. All right, not a whole lot of footage here, but carbs are all together. Chokes kind of work. Now I got to synchronize these carbs so that all these butterflies are even and open at the same time. Probably not going to do a whole lot of showing how this is done. I'm going to do it by opening the carbs and putting a drill bit down until they're all the same. Then we can mess with the idle of all of them at the end. It's done by adjusting these screws right here to sync them all together. So yeah, I'm just going to get this done and I'll get back to you when I'm finished. Okay, carbs are together, carbs are synced, vent lines are on, all the clips. Don't know if I did this right, but we'll find out, obviously. Because what I think is going to happen is when you put the choke on, it's supposed to open the throttle a little. And it does, but very little. So even though I have all the carbs synced, maybe I need to adjust them a little differently. We'll see. You know, maybe there's something I can do with these too. But they are ready to go back on the bike. And that'll be next. And then I think we'll try to see if we can get it to run. However, that's not going to happen today. So this is why it's not going to happen today or maybe the next few days. It is snowing out again. It's like the third time this year. So we'll have to wait for a warmer day. Anyway, I know this probably wasn't the most exciting video, and I didn't show a lot because I needed all the concentration I could get while I was doing the carburetors. It's not an easy thing to film while you're doing, but yeah, hang in. We'll get to see if this bike will attempt to run and if those cylinders come back with compression. Okay, take care. Thanks for watching.